Okay, so the code doesn't look overly cluttered. We're going to create another subroutine down here, and we're going to call it create table. No, we're not going to call it create table. The reason for that is we've already got a subroutine called create table, and that was in error. We're going to call this one create database. Okay, and then we're going to create a subroutine called create table. Create table. Okay, and in here we're going to create the table. But first thing we need to do is we need to pass a handle into here to our database connection. So if you look up here where we did our creation of our handle for the connection, we called it obconnect. So we're going to copy that, Control C. We're going to paste it down in here in the parameter to pass. And then over here where we have our type, we're going to copy that. Okay, and then in here we're going to say as, Control V, put that in there. Okay, and then that will pass our connection handle, because we need that to talk to the server. Okay, so next thing we need to do is create the table. Okay, so in here we're going to do another obj connection. Okay, and then we're going to do dot execute space, and then we need to type in our SQL command again. Okay, so we're going to type double quotes, and we're going to type use, and then we're going to type in the name of our database that we just created, which is a demo database. Okay, so basically that's telling the server to use the demo database so that it puts the table in the right database, and we know where to look for it in the future. Okay, followed by a space, and then we're going to type in create space table. So we're going to create a table, and we're going to call this table TBL demo table. Okay, and then we need to do an open parenthesis, and then we start typing in the name of the columns and the types within the table. So we're going to have 3 columns, I think, and we're going to put a square bracket in here and then the name. Okay, so in this particular tutorial, again, we're going to go product name, close brackets, and then we're going to type in var char, and then we're going to put in another parentheses and then the length here, and we'll put, say, 50 for example. So that's a variable character, a string of 50 characters, up to a maximum of 50 characters, and then in here we put another comma, and then we create another column, which is exactly the same format as this. So we're going to copy and paste that, Control C, Control V, comma, Control V, so that's 3 columns. Okay, product name, and then in here we'll go product ID. Okay, and that's going to be, say, 10 characters, and then we'll have product price, and then in here we don't want a varchar for a price. What we're going to go for is we'll go for a decimal. Okay, and then we're going to have a quick think. If I remember rightly, you have to put in the number of decimal places, so you go decimal parentheses, and then we'll say type in 10,4 parentheses, then close parentheses for the whole command. If you notice up here we've got an open parenthesis, there it is. Okay, so we need to shut that off, and we do that here. Okay, so that's it. There, hopefully we'll create a table within our database. So let's, without further ado, step into it. Just bear in mind we've already created the database now, so what we don't want to do is execute this command here, so we're going to comment that out for the moment, put a comma in front of it. Okay, and then under here we're going to call our create table procedure. Okay, and we're going to pass it our connection handle to the server, Control C, Control V. Okay, so let's step into this. F8, 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 F8. Right, step into our procedure, F8, go, and then execute database creation, table creation. Hopefully that'll work. Didn't throw any errors, which is always a good sign. Come back and reset everything to 0. Okay, and that's it. So again, let's pop up our management studio. Okay, let's log in. Let's look at our database. Let's go to our database, our demo database, And now let's look at the tables. And here, look, you've got table, demo table that we just created. If we right click on that and go to edit top 200 rows, you can see that we've got product name, product ID and product price. So we've now created the database and we've created a table inside the database. Okay, so we're making very good progress so far. So let's close down the Management Studio. Okay, the next stage is to insert data into the table. Okay,